Welcome to Smart Stock Watch. Today is May 13th, 2025, and we're diving into Everus's first quarter earnings report. Joining us is John, senior analyst from Smart Stock Watch. John, Everus has just released their Q1 2025 results. Can you give us a brief overview of the company and what we can expect from today's discussion?
Thank you for having me. Everus is a leading construction services company specializing in electrical, mechanical, and transmission and distribution contracting services across the U.S. In their latest report, they've shown impressive growth in both revenue and net income, and they've affirmed their guidance for the full year 2025. We'll be exploring these results in detail, along with their strategic initiatives and market outlook.
Revenue and profitability overview. Let's start with the top line. Everus reported a revenue of $826.6 million for Q1 2025, which is a significant 32.1% increase compared to last year. John, what are the key drivers behind this impressive growth?
Absolutely. The revenue growth is primarily driven by the strong performance in their electrical and mechanical segment, which saw a 47% increase. This was largely due to higher workloads in data center projects and other end markets. Additionally, their transmission and distribution segment, despite a slight revenue decline, contributed to the overall growth with solid project execution.
And how about profitability?
Net income rose by 30.1% to $36.7 million, with a net income margin of 4.4%. This increase was supported by higher gross profits and income from joint ventures, although it was partially offset by increased operating expenses and interest costs.
Segment performance and backlog. John, can you break down the performance of Everus's segments and their backlog status?
Certainly. The electrical and mechanical segment saw a robust 47% revenue increase, driven by growth in data center projects. Meanwhile, the transmission and distribution segment experienced a slight decline in revenue due to weather impacts and reduced workloads in certain submarkets. However, their backlog is a highlight, reaching a record $3.1 billion, up 40.5% year over year, indicating strong future demand.
That's impressive. How does this backlog position Everus for the future?
The substantial backlog, particularly in high-demand areas like data centers and utility infrastructure, positions Everus well to capitalize on favorable market trends and continue their growth trajectory.
EPS performance and analyst expectations. Now, let's talk about earnings per share. Everus reported an adjusted EPS of 72 cents, which is significantly higher than the forecasted 43 cents. John, what does this tell us about the company's performance?
This is a clear indication that Everus has outperformed expectations. The higher EPS reflects their strong revenue growth and effective cost management. It also suggests that the company is executing well on its strategic initiatives, which is a positive sign for investors.
With only one analyst providing a forecast, how should investors interpret this beat?
While the number of analysts is limited, the substantial beat over the forecasted EPS demonstrates Everus's strong operational capabilities and market positioning. It reinforces confidence in their ability to deliver on their financial targets.
Operational efficiencies and future outlook. John, let's discuss Everus's operational efficiencies and their future outlook. How did they perform in terms of EBITDA?
Everus reported an EBITDA of $61.8 million, up 31.8% from the previous year, with a stable EBITDA margin of 7.5%. This growth is attributed to higher revenues and efficient project execution, despite increased operating costs.
And what about their guidance for 2025?
Everus has affirmed their full-year guidance, expecting revenues between $3 billion and $3.1 billion, and EBITDA between $210 million and $225 million. This reflects their confidence in maintaining strong performance, supported by their robust backlog and strategic focus on high-growth markets.
Key takeaways. As we wrap up, John, can you summarize Everest's performance and their investment prospects?
Everus has delivered a strong Q1 2025 with significant revenue and net income growth and an impressive EPS beat. Their record backlog and affirmed guidance for 2025 highlight their strategic positioning and growth potential. For investors, Everus presents a compelling opportunity, especially given their focus on high-demand sectors like data centers and utility infrastructure.
Thank you, John, for your insights. And thank you to our viewers for tuning in. If you found this analysis helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Smart Stock Watch. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Everest's performance in the comments below. Until next time.